Volkswagen has finally given us a refresh for the third generation Volkswagen Tiguan, giving us more power, dropping the third row, increasing towing capabilities, and upgrading the technology. We're showcasing the 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan S in platinum gray metallic over gray and black cloth interior. 4 trims to choose from this year, and I am excited for the new variant. With more standard features and more airbags for safety, I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over some pros and cons while I'm explaining the full specs of the exterior. The interior, we're going to take it for a test drive to see how that 17 horsepower actually generates underneath some pressure and for your daily use. The Tiguan is fully redesigned with the MQB Evo platform. All new sheet metal, it's a shorter rear overhang, and it's slightly increased with the wheelbase. The exterior design is going to be more bold and impressive. It sits up higher, more powerful nose than the second generation, with slim headlights with the available LED light bar that will illuminate the logo. The SEL R-Line Black will be brushed with aluminum for the front bumpers, and that same styling will carry on into the rear. It's going to look a lot more dynamic and aggressive than the second gen. And the nice thing about this is you're getting essence of the Q for the front fascia of that dynamic look, especially with that air pocket there on the side. Front parking sensors, that's standard, but housed underneath the hood is what we've been needing. It's the 2.0 liter TSI 4-cylinder turbocharged, producing 201 horsepower. You heard me correct. That increase is what we have been wanting for a very long time. And for 2026, they're going to boost that even further, giving us 67 more horsepower, increased to 268 horsepower when you option the SEL R-Line Turbo. And that's paired to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission and 207 pound-feet of torque. Now, when you go up into the 4Motion, 221 pound-feet of torque. We've also increased in towing because now the front-wheel drive is at 1,500 pounds. The all-wheel drive or 4Motion, 1,800 pounds, achieving 26 mpgs for the city, 34 mpgs for the highway. So you're not only increasing with the towing capacity, but then the ground clearance also increases to 7 inches opposed to the 6.6 inches you're receiving here. With these 17-inch standard wheels, you could get a 19-inch wheel and up to a 20-inch wheel. And this third generation will also improve with MPGs because of the aluminum and the hot framed steel that's in the body structure and the suspension. That lowers the weight around 170 pounds. Now, as for competition like Toyota and Honda, Volkswagen has stepped up their game quite a bit. The only thing that's a con is we've lost the third row. But when you're thinking about the power, you're not going to be getting something similar to this going into those classes. Now, we do not receive a PHEV or even a hybrid, but I'm all right with that because we have the increased power. We lost around 170 pounds of weight because of the suspension. So we're getting better fuel economy, and you're not having to worry about all those extra batteries. And the standard safety and driving assist features will include the advanced airbags, now having 10. We have the anti-slip regulator, the engine brake assist, electronically brake pressure distribution with the hydraulic brake assist. Going into your IQ Drive, that's going to feature a travel assist, which is basically a semi-autonomous driving, adaptive cruise control, that's stop and go. You're not going to get that with Honda. Lane assist and lane keeping assist, emergency assist with semi-automatic vehicle assist, frontal assist with front collision warning, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist monitoring, active side assist, which is your blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Now, going back to Audi, it also got the updates. And when you're putting the price next to each other, my question is, did Volkswagen mess up and give us something that's just as good? At the back, the roof line is extended by the spoiler. This is going to emphasize the aerodynamics. Now, the front-wheel drive configuration is going to have 6.6 inches of clearance. All-wheel drive is going to be at 7 inches of clearance. So when you're tacking on the 4Motion, you're also improving the towing and that, but you're decreasing in storage capacity in the cargo. So just keep a note on those things. I like the styling of the update. The third generation highlights everything that most YouTubers have been complaining about, going a step further, making it almost to the same level as an Audi, badge as a Volkswagen. Even though it's longer, we actually lose cargo. Power liftgate starts on the SE, and we're going into 26.5 cubic feet. There isn't any third row capabilities anymore for North America. You get a little storage here, and you get a 12 volt, another cubby down here, and underneath the floor gets a spare tire. Volkswagen does it right though. To pull the tabs here, it's going to fold at a 40-60 split. Right next to it, you got your bag holders. That's going to maximize cargo capacity to 58.9 cubic feet, which it used to be up to 73.4 cubic feet of storage. The key fob to the third generation Tiguan. These lighting up will be on the SEL black. The SE will light up whenever you open the door. The S gets the cloth bolstered seats. It's embossed with the quilted interior. Contrast stitch, heated front seats, manual seats. The SE will give you the power front seats. It'll also give you the leatherette seating. The R-Line Black SE will add the R-Line seating as well as the steering wheel. The SEL R-Line will add ventilated seats, power seats, heated front seats as well as massage seats, and you get 10-way stage massage seats. The interior, you can see the updates. Now the SEL R-Line will add the Clima Coat, so it's a heated and heat insulated with sound insulation front windshield, and it's 100% UV protectant, as well as 12 speakers through Harman Kardon and 30 different ambient colors, which is the R-Line Black will only have 10 different ambient colors, and that actually will start on the SE trim. It is a driver focused setup, but you still have plenty of room. I like the pattern that comes into play here, and it has some texture behind information display, but it's pretty hot today. We're gonna fire it up. You can see what I mean by hot. That's what we're looking at right now. 12.9-inch informational display, 15 inches only on the SEL R-Line. Click this little center button here, and this is going to be your quick wedges here that you could just swipe over. And you can also customize this. This can have navigation. It comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, CarNet. And now the gear lever is on the steering column, so we're going to put it into reverse. You get a reverse camera. The trajectory will expand. You get the front sensors, the rear sensors. I mean, it's really reading everything. You can also close this to open it up or expand it. Little sub menu to make it kind of like a fisheye look, but I would probably leave it here and more than likely leave it here. I don't like that it doesn't cover up the full screen. That's definitely a con to me starting off. Turn off the auto start stop. The nice thing is it's just right here, but everything is through this infotainment screen. The climate or the dual climate control settings. They do offer a tri-climate control, and if you want to raise up and down, it is quick with the swipe. It's just give me some physical buttons. You get the cloth here, and it's going to be a flat dash, so it's going to go into the door card. So I like the styling that they've implemented, as well as giving a full digital cockpit that can go through an array of different content for the driver, including the assistance system. But I would probably leave it like this. This area here has been cleaned up quite a bit too, so I appreciate that, but there still isn't any pass-through. It does have a lot more storage space. You get a standard wireless charging pad, USB-C ports here, and the knob to turn on and off the sound system. That's literally the only button that you have in this vehicle besides the push button start in the brake. You have an area for the key fob. Cup holders, it's not quite big gulp style, but you can still fit probably a 20 ounce without any issues. It's actually more soft here, and it opens up into a smaller storage pocket, but you can lift that up, and now it's a deep storage pocket because this whole thing's opened up with a 12-volt charger. So emphasizing space, they did a decent job with that. Leatherette steering wheel, it's multi-function. Flat bottom is standard. R-Line spec is only going to be on the R-Line vehicles. You can option a panel moonroof that starts on the SEL R-Line Black, and the auto dimming rear view mirror will start on the SE, and look at that, LED interior lights by just the simple push of a button. Leg space is going to be more than enough for the front occupants, as well as headroom. They do a good job carving it out. I have probably about 5 to 6 inches. I'm at 6'3". Going back to that door card, you're going to have that cloth that goes right into the dash with the contrast stitch, and you get that pattern with the texture that's right there on the passenger, and it also goes behind the infotainment screen and a touch here. So I like how they pay attention to detail because it just looks a lot more upscale. One touch up and down for all the windows, soft to touch. That's the key to the game this year, with about the same storage pocket as the prior gen. For the back seats, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down. USB-C ports, air vents, a little storage tray, but it's kind of small. No storage behind any of the front seats. The door card is going to have the same style as the front, so you have the texture. It's soft because you have the cloth inserts. No contrast stitch this time, but you get it here. You want the ambient lighting? You got to go up into the SE for 10 different colors. And almost the same size storage pocket as the front, plus you got another storage area here on both sides. Sitting behind me, the seats are carved out more or less for you. I have a ton of leg space as well as head space. This new platform just really unlocks a lot of space in general. Sliding into the center, feet space, you're not really gonna be sharing it. The knees, they're still kind of up in the air. So they didn't fix that, and a lot of that's derived because you see the way the seats are, you actually lose a little bit of seat here sitting into the center, but more than likely I wouldn't be sitting here for too long. Even though I have a sufficient amount of space, because they give you that little storage tray here on the side, you do lose about 2 inches of butt space on both sides, but headroom is still more than enough. The 3rd generation Tiguan, increasing horsepower to 201, that's up from the 184 horsepower we had, giving us 17 more horses and around 170 pounds less in weight, and it's about 0.6 inches longer. So when we put all that into content, we should have a little bit of a faster vehicle. Now the front wheel drive configuration, these are kind of some cons to just throw off the bat. It drops the torque from the standard 221 pound-feet that you would have got in the 2nd gen to 207 pound-feet of torque. So I can see where they're getting some cost savings maybe, but then we have increased in towing capacity, so I at least appreciate that. And when we're thinking about what the Tiguan brings as a whole, I mean, you're talking a vehicle that is in the $30,000 price. And you're getting a lot of standard features, a lot of safety features that we went over through the interior and the exterior. Plus, for 2026, we're gonna have the SEL R-Line Turbo with 268 horsepower. That's 67 more horsepower than this. I can't wait to get my hands on it. But as for what we got here, is it going to be faster than the 2nd gen? We're going to see right now. It does feel more refined in the drive, but it feels a little slower than the prior gen. Feels a little bit wider and longer. The way the whole vehicle kind of sits, it feels higher up. But I'm okay with that because these smaller SUVs, I kind of like to have some of that dominance. So that way, if I'm next to like a huge vehicle, like a Tahoe or an Escalade or a Range Rover, I don't feel so small next to them. The windows are large. Road noise, it's a little bit less than the prior. If you want it to be more sealed up, you go into the SEL R-Line and it's gonna take care of you, especially with the front windscreen giving more sound insulation. I kinda like that we have the smaller wheels too because you don't really feel anything, it's just more gliding. The last gen, it was a little bit more rough. The seat comfort is good. They actually have a lot more butt area than the competition like Honda, Toyota, and Hyundai. So if you are thinking of cross-shopping between the two, Volkswagen does have the more comfortable seat, even the back bolstering. And if you just go into the base trim, you're still gonna be satisfied. Now, obviously the SE is kind of where it's at for the sweet spot here, because you're gonna be getting a little bit more. You get the standard power seat adjustments, and you get the leatherette seating. Maneuverability is good. You don't feel a lot in the feedback, but it does have a little bit of weight to the steering. We're gonna do a quick turn radius right here. About 2 lanes, the steering wheel has some vibration. Let's rock and roll. And braking. I mean, for the everyday drive, it's smooth. The shifting pattern seems a little bit more smooth than the prior, it just feels a little bit more slower, not by a huge amount, maybe just a few tenths of a second. So I would still say it's in the 8-second margin. It didn't really do anything crazy. If you wanted to go a lot more faster, then you're gonna have to wait for 2026 when they have the new SEL R-Line Turbo with the 268 horsepower, because then with the shedded weight plus 67 horses more than this, it should be a night and day difference. Unfortunately, there is some more cons in the vehicle. Everything derived through the infotainment screen, you obviously get used to it. It doesn't actually have that much glitch, so I do like how they have upgraded the software to that. The center cluster, they did a good job with it. It just would be a little bit more usable, I think, if they lifted it up just a touch and gave some more storage underneath it, like a full pass-through. I like how this whole area here is opened up, but still, where you rest your arms, depending on your height, it could be just an elbow rest instead of an actual arm rest for the center. Charging ports, you got a ton of them, that's standard, which typically that doesn't happen at this price point, plus a wireless charging pad, plus wireless connectivity and full digital screens. Less use of plastic materials in the interior, that's how it feels, even though you still have it scattered across the dash and the door card. So they did a good job giving more of that premium interior feel, plus the leatherette steering wheel on all trims. Square bottom, everybody likes that because it feels a little bit more sporty. And if you go into the SEL R-Line, you get 12 speakers through Harman Kardon. I mean, what the hell is going on? Volkswagen is literally pushing to that next level that you don't usually get in this segment. You got voice recognition through the infotainment screen, but then on the con, it's not flush with the dashboard. It literally looks like a tablet hanging out. So it is still going towards that tech-forward vehicle styling. But when you're at this price, I don't think you're going to be dissatisfied with that. Usually, I would like something a little bit more integrated into the dashboard, but because everything touch to feel has been such an upgrade, it's hard for me to really say, I don't like this or I don't like that. The back seat definitely has a lot more room than the prior gen, but losing the third row, that's really what made this stand out more so than Honda, than Toyota. As for a vehicle that's $29,000, basically $500 MSRP, try to find something with this much all in one package and basically giving you a family alternative to a mid-size SUV, but in a smaller package with the upgraded platform and adding more performance than the prior gen. I mean, do you think they hit a home run? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here. Off the line, I think you're going to be fine because the torque does push you back. Just losing that little bit of torque because we go front wheel drive is definitely a big problem for me.